How's it going, everyone? Welcome to a very exciting weekly warehouse update. We got all kinds of new drops. We brought a bunch of sick Discraft back from USDGC. That's basically gonna be exclusive Discraft releases. We got some new Konner discs, some Robbie C restock, all kinds of fun stuff. We're gonna start it off with the Mint Disc Lobster. I believe this is the first time it's been released in Eternal plastic, if I'm not mistaken. The Lobster has been a very, very popular disc. It's an understable mid-range in the Mint disc lineup. Mint is made by, or manufactured by MVP. So this is essentially their Proton plastic. So if you like the MVP plastic, that's what you're feeling here. So in other words, a phenomenal feeling disc. And I had a chance to throw it in the field yesterday, and it definitely in this plastic has a little bit more stability. Still plenty of flip. You're gonna be able to get some awesome hyzer flips out of this disc and stuff, but a little bit more usable than some of the other Lobsters I've thrown. So awesome, awesome disc there. We also had some restock slash newish Discraft, for instance, the Big Z Swarm. Trevor threw this one yesterday, and it is every bit as overstable as every Swarm that's ever been out there, maybe even more. This thing is no joke. If you're looking for a 5-speed that's really comfortable forehand, really comfortable backhand, and is just going to dive out of the air and attack its target, that's the Swarm. You can check that one out. Then they released the Zone GT in their titanium swirl plastic. This is awesome. So the Zone GT was obviously the one that won the zone battle back in the day. You had the Zinger or the Banger Zone, and this is the Banger Zone that won. And it's just a good time. I mean, it's got that groove track on top for your thumb to go in there. Feels great forehand and backhand. It gives you a little additional spot for your split grip to go. And it ends up being a little bit straighter than your stock zone, which I think is a lot of fun. So it's a good compliment if you're a zone thrower. This is a great little 1-2 punch to get that in there. And then last but not least, on these Discraft restock, we have the Paul Macbeth Kratos and a fly die. So all kinds of different patterns here. We got some flag ones in the back. And these are basically Z Kratoses, so they're a little bit more overstable than your stock Kratos. And then they have these fun dies on them. So they look great, they feel great. If you're looking for a like straight to slightly overstable approach putter, check out the Kratos and the fly die. They just look fun.
All right, I've got a really fun selection of limited Discraft here. So basically, when we were at USDGC, some of the guys at Discraft, Bob Giulio and such, came over and were like, hey, we've got some sneaky things for you to pick from. We got to go in and pick out some stuff we thought you guys would enjoy. So we have a very limited amount of each disc I'm gonna show you. If you like one of these discs, we may only have like a handful of that mold with us. So make sure to get on it as quickly as possible. I'm gonna go through them all. These are really, really cool runs. So first thing I have here, these are Jawbreaker Z Swirl drives with the Page Pierce stamp. We have these in some, oh, that is sick. We have these in a few different variations. The drive is a great flip up, like 10-speed driver, kind of a nice complement to the Passion, I should say, but a bit faster, really nice disc. Next thing we have, this is really cool. These are impacts. These are Crystal Z impacts. If you've never thrown an impact, it's because they're out of production. They just bring them back from time to time. It was actually one of Foundation's first runs because Paul really enjoyed throwing them. I got to throw one of these yesterday. They actually flip up and just go dead straight. They're a little faster than a mid-range, which is kind of like, it's an interesting slot. I think they're technically a 6-speed. Best thing I could compare them to is like, kind of like a longer buzz. The way I would compare it is it kind of fits between like a mid-range and almost like a stalker type slot for me, where it's just a little bit faster, but it's not quite a fairway, but they go really, really straight. Then we have some PM line glow stuff. So we've got the Kratos, the Hades, we've got the Zeus, and we've got the Onyx. So this is all ESP glow in the PM line, limited edition, all stamped on there. And yeah, just the PM molds that you already know and love. Some other things, we've got Z Sparkle Vultures. These are sweet. These came out really like flat and like a stiffer run. And, or not Vultures, I'm sorry, Athenas. This is similar to a Vulture, a little more overstable. And like I said, in this like flat, stiffer run, they're probably gonna be pretty beefy. Almost reminds me of a Raptor. And we've got these in a couple different colors, but I think these like feel great. It's a really good run of plastic. Next thing I've got here, these are really fun. This is Jawbreaker. I think this might be Z Jawbreaker Flex. It has a little more gift to it. These are machetes with the Big Z stamp they put on there. Only have a few of these. These are super board flat, very, very overstable, kind of a wider rim than a lot of like your overstable fairways would have, because I think these technically come in at like a 10 or 11 speed. But they're just super overstable. You can chop them over for forehands. They come back. They're machetes. If you haven't checked these out, I think they're a little underrated. Brody really likes them, but great overstable disc. Next over here, these are really cool. Got to throw one of these yesterday. We got these Raptors. Most of these I think are just in standard Z. This pink one, for whatever reason, you can go find it, is almost like in a big Z type blend with glimmer in it. But it's a triple foil Raptor, and these things fly great. I just threw them yesterday. We only have a few of these like everything else. But we have some like pretty cool combos on these triple foils. I mean, this stamp is probably my favorite Raptor stamp I've ever seen. It's amazing, except Raptorius, obviously. Last but not least, we have another really cool kind of mashup here. These are Big B stamped, kind of like almost a half stamp, which I think is cool. And these are cicadas, ESP Swirl cicadas. So a great hyzer flip fairway driver. We have in a few different colors. So we have all these cool Discraft molds, but like I said, these are gonna go insanely fast because there is not much of any of these. So if you want one that I just mentioned, make sure to go snag one, snag 2 or 3, because they're limited and limited quantity as well. So that's our Discraft.
All right, from Inova, we've got, I guess these are the first stock release of their new Proto Glow. So they've been using Proto Glow here and there, and basically what it is the next level of glow. You've probably seen like MVP and some of these companies come out with glow that's just like, you can use it like a flashlight. And then some of the other companies like Inova and Discraft still had some of their older glow and it didn't glow nearly the same. This is kind of Innova's response. So it's in a bunch of different molds, but they're the Proto Glow champion. And let me tell you, they glow like crazy. I just took them in that room and tested it, and they are wild. A lot of companies are getting better and better with their glow, and this is Innova's next step up. So we got the Proto Glow Valkyrie here. We got the Proto Glow Mako 3, one of the most underrated mid-ranges on the market. I gotta be completely honest with you. Not enough people are throwing Mako 3s. I think it's because it's probably a little bit too understable for pros for what they would want. A lot of pros just go to rocks. If you're an AM, if you're looking for a dead straight mid-range, this is it. Like, stop looking, you found it. The Mako 3, it feels incredibly comfortable forehand and backhand. They're bored flat. And they're just point and shoot discs. They're great. As you beat them up, they'll turn into beautiful hyzer flip discs. They're awesome. It's also a great time to pick up a glow disc because it is glow season now as we head through the winter. The Proto Glow Champ Shrike, I wish I would have thrown this. I actually threw the turn yesterday because sometimes glow shrikes can be money. These feel a little flat, so I'm assuming they're going to still be pretty flippy, but the Shrike is an awesome understable 13 speed. I did get some experience with the turn yesterday. Here's the deal, I don't know why the turn doesn't get more love. It has a little bit of an odd shape to it, so I don't know if that's what's holding people back from it, but like, this disc is incredible. I was throwing it yesterday, just effortless hyzer flip distance. This thing goes forever. Just such a great disc and just a great run of them. The Proto Glow feels awesome, and like I said, it glows really, really well. And then last but certainly not least in the Proto Glow is the Leopard 3, which if you're looking for a hyzer flip straight 7-speed, this is it. It's awesome. The Leopard 3 is another one of those discs that I think because the pros don't throw it a ton, us AMs kind of overlook it, whereas like this is the disc a lot of us would want. It's just an awesome dead straight hyzer flip fairway driver. So the Leopard 3 is great for that. And then the other thing they just released is the Signature Edition Swirled Star Destroyer for Evelina Salonen. And what's great about these, most of them are a little bit lighter on the upper 160s, low 170s, and they are bomber destroyers. They're easier to turn over, a lot easier to turn over than your stock destroyer, and they just go. You'll be able to hyzer flip these if you're throwing 400 plus feet. These will be a hyzer flip destroyer for you. You'll be able to rip them flat, get some really good turn out of them. And then if you're throwing like 350-ish and you want a destroyer that has a little bit more push, this will also accomplish that. It's also great if you're like me where your forehand is about half as powerful as your backhand. This is a great forehand destroyer as well. So we got them in a bunch of different swirl variants here. Oh, look at this guy. And they are just gorgeous, gorgeous run of destroyers. Most of them are pretty flat, which I think is aiding in the flippiness of it, but this one's 147. So they even come in some lighter weights. You'll see some of the like blizzardy rims coming in, and that's because you're getting down to like the low 160s, upper 150s. So yeah, you can shop by weight, stamp, all that fun stuff, but these are just great run of destroyers. If you're looking for a destroyer with a little bit more turn, if you want to make sure it turns, get one of the lighter weight ones, because this one's actually 173 to 75, so they do go all the way up to max weight. But if you want to make sure it turns, get some of the lighter weight ones. But all of them just have a great feel to them and a great flight out of them.
Another thing to show you here on the drop shelf, we got some new dynamic stuff. So basically for Year of the Dragon, they have done a dragon stamp and they have it on a few different molds. Really cool stamp. I have a Raider that has a similar dragon stamp, and I think it's a pretty fun time. But all these are in like their, I mean, gosh, trilogy plastics. This would be, what do they call this? Horizon? Is this still Horizon?
It's whatever you call it.
Okay, it's this would be like Horizon Fusion or Fusion Horizon, whatever.
I think it's Orbit.
Is it Orbit? Orbit Fusion?
Horizon's their version of Discmania.
Okay, yeah, you're right. It's Fusion Orbit. There we go. Gosh, man, I mean, it's insane. Like, it's gotten to the point where there's so many different plastics. But in any case, it's a great plastic blend. I mean, it obviously looks sick as well. And we have a Trespass for this mold. We got the Truth. We also have the Justice and the Captain, which I actually just am seeing in this black and yellow colorway is very, very cool. You don't see that a lot. To go over each one of these discs, basically Justices are like one of the most overstable mid-ranges in existence. They are just insanely beefy. Truths is like that's their flagship mid-range. These are EMAC Truths, so they just go straight with a little fade at the end, just like your typical like flagship mid-range should be. These two drivers, so Trespasses, brand new, might have a little bit of flip to them, and they beat into like a bomber. The Captain, very underrated disc. I actually bagged one of these for a while. They're pretty flippy, brand new. I just threw one of these yesterday, this exact run. Brand new, you throw them hard on hyzer and they kind of just pop up the flat and turn a little and then fade, but they turn into a really, really good like hyzer flip to turn over like max distance disc. Or if you're a beginner who's looking to flirt around with some wider rim discs and get some more max distance, this is a great option. Also good for shots, like I like to throw forehands with really flippy fast discs. That's how I get my forehand distance, and this disc is perfect for that. So I'd recommend checking out the Captain and any of those molds that catch your eye in those plastics.
You've been asking for them. It's time that we deliver. We've got a restock on everyone's favorite, the Konner Shaman. So these are actually glow. All of these are glow. The only ones that aren't glow we got some baseline ones this time around. So if you're looking for one with some extra flip, the baseline ones are actually even flatter, so they feel even better. Then you can get that to make sure you get that flip out of them. And then these, I believe, all are diamond glow Konner Shamans. So these are just a great time. I actually just put one in my bag recently. It's really fun, just understable, super easy to throw, hyzer flip putter. So it's a very shallow, so if you don't like shallow putters, stay away, but I find it very comfortable. It, you can feel it forehand, backhand. The forehand will be a little bit touchier, but some people are really good at that. I'm not one of those people. The other thing is the Robbie C Birdie Blend Wizard with the Robbie C stamp. So before it's always been the Dennis the Duck with the Wizard hat stamp. This is the first time with the Robbie C stamp on there. And this is his signature blend with Gateway. So it's got almost KC Pro with a little bit more grip-esque feel. Really stiff, and it's on the Wizard here. So phenomenal putter, really, really clean hand feel. And then you got the Robbie C logo there. So if you want to support Robbie, check these out, support Konner by checking those out, and support us by heading over to foundationdisc.com and picking up any of these things that caught your eye. And we'll be back next week to tell you about some new releases.